All right, let's talk about the issues of safety while you're heading to your holiday destination. How do you ensure that your home is safe? Let's give you some tips now. TJ Masilela, Gauteng Provincial Community Police Board Chair, joins us live now. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, this is usually a huge issue. So if people are about to leave their homes, and I know that a number of them will be leaving tomorrow, what is the first thing that you must do before you leave as you are packing up and you are now done, you're preparing to head out? Mr. Masilela, I think you are on mute.
My apologies with that. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And yeah, the Know Your Neighbor campaign that we talk about the whole year applies now more than ever. As you would leave your homes and your place of stay, you let know of your neighbors to know that you'll be not around. But also importantly, those that have security companies and the technology that they use. The easiest technology that we have, your WhatsApp groups, that we know that even in the areas of the poorest, you still have means of communicating through the technology, being WhatsApps. But importantly, let your neighbors' worries be my neighbors' concern. And let's make sure that we keep each other and informed on what's happening. On the road, those that have been on the road, please, that is given. I think the Minister of Transport has spoken about that. Don't drink and drive. It's you will be arrested. I mean, there are no two ways about that. Let's try and respect the rules of the road, and let's drive safe as we leave Gauteng. But those that are also coming to Gauteng, they must also know that Operation Chanela and all the other operations that are taking place will be in full force to our communities that will be leaving their place of work. Let's make sure that our alarm systems, our solar panels, our batteries are also in good shape. But let's communicate more and make sure that we stay safe. Don't carry a lot of cash with you. There's no reason for you to carry a lot of money. I know when you're going home, especially in the rural areas, the ATMs are a bit far. But let's try and use this technology now so that we can transfer this kind of money. Make sure that we exchange communications in platforms, but making sure that the criminals also don't have access to such. It's very important this time of the year. Let's remain safe and let's arrive alive.
So this Know Your Neighbor campaign, I'm interested in something about it then. How safe is it to then tell my neighbor that I'm going away, and also going the extent of leaving my key with my neighbor as well? Is that safe?
I wouldn't advise to leave the key, but let your neighbor know that you have 4 or 5 neighbors around you. You should have one that you can actually trust to say, look, I'm not around. If you see the lights, will switch it on, because, like I said, you all have now the solars and in the even areas, but also in the township. Township should be much easier because we know each other in our streets. Let the street committee member knows that you're not around. Let the CPF sector in that particular area knows that you are not around, and keep that, so that when something sinister, something funny happens in the neighborhood, we will know that actually Bongiwe is not around, so there shouldn't be anyone in the house. But I wouldn't advise that we leave keys as such. Landlords and tenants must actually talk all the time. Those that are actually renting, it's also very important that the landlord must know that you're actually not around, and there shouldn't be anyone that's coming to see you and so forth. Those that have an opportunity to have communication with their CPFs in those areas, let them do that in discreet, obviously, so that these people on the crowd can also be aware of such. So that's what I'm encouraging.
And does having dogs and butlers help as well?
Oh, definitely. Dogs are actually one of the best crime deterrent that you can have, because of their intelligence in making sure they can actually smell you from far away as an owner. But it's important that also those dogs are taken care of. So when a relative or a friend should be able to now and again come and feed the dogs if you have dogs. But dogs are very intelligent, and I would encourage those that in the high walls to definitely opt for such, because as they start barking, definitely dogs don't just bark for nothing. Yeah. So it's very important to have that. And then the burglars and the security measures that we all have, I think we have gone accustomed to that. Every door must have some kind of a crime deterrent and so forth. But we have cameras now. We have the technology now that help us. In some streets, the Premier of Gauteng has installed, has actually funded some of this installation in some hotspots and so forth. So let us also put some little effort. A camera right now that you can connect to your phone as you leave will cost you less than actually buying the family a dinner one night.
And finally, then, there's another worrying trend that we've seen over the years, people drinking and driving, particularly also in Gauteng becoming a problem as well. Is this a trend that you are seeing possibly picking up as well this festive season, or are the roads still quiet?
Actually, it's picking up, but it's more of those that are walking and drinking. The people don't understand that drinking in public is still a criminal offense. And we should apply that. I think a fine for drinking in public is 1,000 rand. Now, can you imagine if we are able to enforce that? It's a question of how do we enforce that? Because if you drink and walk, chances are that you will end up on the side of the road. And that's a problem. The judgment when you're drunk compared to the reality, it's actually miscalculated. So we don't encourage that. And we are saying to those that buy whatever that you need to drink, go home and have your drink while safe at home. But don't drink at the tavern and expect to walk home, because even that walking, crossing distance, we have services that are out there now that can be utilized, your inhaling business that you can utilize. But even friends, friends should come and pick you up if you realize that's what we are appealing to liquor traders also to say, look, sell and trade responsibly. You can't just sell to TJ seeing that he's driving and he's even carrying the car keys, but he's already had enough. He shouldn't be there in the first place drinking. Those are the things that at some point I think your liquor boards must start looking at that. How are we responsible in terms of trading?
Yeah. And definitely it's something that is quite a big one. And just a few days ago, speaking to MECs, they also talk about pedestrians who are also drinking and walking and the difficulties in around that. But let me thank you so much for your time, Mr. Masilela. I do appreciate it, and I do hope people have listened very closely to some of those safety precautions. That's TJ Masilela, Gauteng Provincial Community Police Board Chair.